Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dear devotees, as it is announced, generally every week we will have a class on Kathopanishad, but being tomorrow Guru Purnima, I thought we will discuss on necessity of a guru. Most of us, we have taken a spiritual path. We are trying to understand the spirituality. We are trying to understand the scriptures. So based on the scriptures, I would like to discuss today, why do we need guru or the necessity of guru? In this present modern age, I think the Google or internet says, I know everything. But the internet says, without me you are nothing. So the Google says, I know everything, and the internet says, without me you are nothing. And ChatGPT says probably, ChatGPT or Gemini, it says probably, I can explain things better than you. So at this juncture, in this modern context, people might think, or youngsters might think, why do we need teachers? Why do we need gurus at all? So for that, Swami Vivekananda gives a very beautiful analysis. Just like a burning lamp can only share the light for another lamp, so similarly, a living being, one who has awakened or one who knows things, he only can bring a spiritual awakening in another human being. Now, ChatGPT or the books or the internet or the YouTube, all of them can provide ample informations, no doubt. But the spiritual awakening, what we speak, what we try to understand, that is only possible by Guru alone. The Shvetashvatara Upanishad also tells very clearly, Yasya deve para bhaktihi yatha deve tata gurau tasyaite katita hertaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Just like we have got a devotion, unflinching devotion in the God, similarly, if a person has got an unflinching devotion in Guru, for such a person, the scriptures and the spiritual practice becomes much easy. So by all this, we can understand the necessity of a guru based on our scriptures or from the saints' teachings. Whoever teaches, whoever helps to go further in our life, everyone is considered as guru in our scriptures. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, if you see, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitu Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, it comes. So mother is our first guru actually. Mother is our first guru. Since when we are in the mother's womb, from then onwards, she starts teaching us. Then the second guru will be the father. Then the third guru is teacher or others who helps us to learn things, who helps us to go further in the things. And from spiritual aspect, if you see, there are some people who has already have understood the scriptures. They teach the people. Some types of gurus we can see. And some are, they have studied and they have experienced little or they have gone further in the spiritual life. They also take the role of gurus. Then the prophets are also act the role as a guru, and the incarnations also take the role as a guru. Sri Ramakrishna tells beautifully, the real guru can only be the God or Sachidananda. Now, I chanted the Sanskrit stotra at the beginning, the prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The other is Guru Sakshat Parabrahma also is there. Now, why this from, especially in India, in our Hinduism, from our probably birth we are chanting this, from our childhood days. Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, Guru is Shiva, and Guru is Parabrahma also. I don't know how many of us we think why Guru is called as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Why not anything else? Because if you think, Guru acts as a role of Brahma in our life. Brahma does what? Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator God. He creates the universe, or he helps to manifest the universe. So similarly, the Guru creates spiritual awakening. That is a new birth in our life actually. The spiritual awakening through initiation, through his teachings, through his guidance, he creates that spiritual awakening. That's why Guru is called Brahma. Okay, the world is created, then it has to be maintained. For an example, I build a house, then I have to maintain the house. Otherwise, it will be in dilapidated state just in few months or year. The maintenance work is being done in the creation by the Lord Vishnu, as we all know. So Guru also helps us to maintain that spirit. He also helps us to maintain that spiritual awakening and to go further in our spiritual life. We have to keep progressing in our spiritual life. There we have to maintain our mental composition. We have to maintain our spiritual current. We have to maintain our discrimination, discernment. So many things we have to maintain. Then only the spiritual progress is possible. The consistency, persistency, all these things. So for that, we just like Vishnu helps as Sthiti Karaka, Guru also helps to maintain our spiritual progress. And the third is Shiva, Layakarta. Many people have got a misconception that Shiva, when he opens his third eye, there is a complete destruction. The whole world will be destroyed. Anyhow, it is a childish thought actually. So Shiva actually, he is the Layakarta. We say, what is it is called? It is not a destruction, it is a dissolution. From unmanifested state, the whole world got into manifested state, which we are able to perceive. At some point of time, again it goes back to unmanifested state. That is called Laya, dissolution. And this work is being done by Shiva himself, Lord Shiva. So when ignorance is completely destroyed in us, the Laya happens. Means what? The cycle of birth and death, the Samsara Chakra, the cycle of birth and death gets destroyed, then I will be free from birth and death. So Ajñāna Laya or Ajñāna Nasha, that is the death of ignorance or the destruction of ignorance is being done by Guru also. That's why Guru is called Brahma, Guru is called Vishnu, Guru also is called Shiva. Then Grunhati Atmatatvam Upadishate iti Guruhu. All these things, how does he do? A Guru, one who awakens or instructs the nature of the self and the God. That's why he is also called Parabrahma. All right, we all know all these things. Scriptures gives a very scholastic or philosophical reasons for all these things. So based on our Yoga Shastras, Upanishad, and some of the Yoga Shastras and I think Vaishnava Shastras and Upanishad, based on that, these there are 6 limitations of our intellect. Our intellect is superb, no doubt. We can do many things. It has got a lot of powers. Doubting faculty, the power of judgment, the power of perception, the power of analytical thinking, the power of synthetic thinking, so on and so forth has got. All these powers our intellect has got. But the Shastra, scripture says, Purusha buddhi doshaha shat. Means our human intellect has got 6 defects, or 6 limitations. That is quite interesting actually. What are the 6 limitations? The first is Ajñāna or ignorance. I will explain in detail. Second is Saṁśaya or doubt. Ignorance, doubt. Third is Viparyaya, wrong perception or misunderstanding. The fourth is Pramāda, negligence. The fifth is Vipralabdhi, that is deceived by other teachings. Then Apatukaraṇatvam, limitation of the senses. So these are the 6 limitations our intellect has got. That is the reason I cannot completely depend on my intellect all the time to understand about God, to understand about the self, which is very subtle or subtlest in the nature. For example, first one is Ajñāna or ignorance. Ignorance is what? Absence of real knowledge. Absence of knowledge, that's all. So this ignorance is the root cause for all our problem. And this, because of ignorance only, we get a wrong understanding. So according to the scriptures, when we try to analyze ourselves, when we do contemplation, when we try to analyze ourselves, we might sometimes think, oh, we have done so many mistakes. So maybe 10 mistakes or 20 mistakes I have done in my life. So probably because of this, today whatever I am, or because of that I am suffering. Because of that, I couldn't progress, all these things. But scripture says we have got only one mistake, one problem. Because of that, all other problems are getting manifested, or they are branches of it. What is that one problem? The only one fundamental problem, which is the root cause for all our suffering. Scripture tells very clearly that is ignorance. Ignorance of oneself, or ignorance about the true nature of the God or true nature of the self. Because of that, we are suffering. The Upanishad says, Shrunvantu Vishve Amrutasya Putraha Ayedhamani Divyani Tastuhu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat. You are the son of, O children, please listen, you are the son of immortal bliss. We are the divine beings. We are the consciousness in itself. Means we are unlimited, we are omnipresent, but we always feel we are limited. We are bound. We are suffering. We have been stamped. All these things we feel. Because why? Because of ignorance of our own nature. And many times we feel we are helpless. Why? Because of ignorance of our own nature. What to speak of ourselves? Even Arjuna's case we can see in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, who was Maharati, in the whole Kurukshetra war, there are only 18 Maharatis. Maharati means one who is capable of Atiratha Maharata. Atiratha means one who is capable of fighting with 1,000 people at a time. And Maharata is one who is capable of fighting with 10,000 people, I think. 10,000 people at a time. So that means he knows the art of warfare. He is good at skills, that is using the weapons. And is so courageous, at a time he can fight with 10,000 people. So such people are only 18 in Kurukshetra war, where lakhs of soldiers were there, lakhs of soldiers, commanders, so many people. Among them only 18 were there, and one was Arjuna. Means he was physically so fit, he had skills, all these things, but still he had a problem. He says, Karpanya dosho pahatasvabhava pruchami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yachreya syanishti tambruhitanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I have been confused. What is right, what is wrong? I am unable to decide what should I do, what should I not do. Oh Krishna, please accept me as your disciple and instruct me clearly, firmly, do this and do not do this. Then only the real Gita Upadesha starts. Till then only Arjuna was giving Upadesha, Arjuna was giving teachings, and poor Krishna had to listen all this. And when he said, I have been confused, please accept me as your disciple and taught, then only Krishna starts to teaching. So why? Because he was ignorant about his own duty. And he was ignorant about his own true self. And in the Gurukula already he had read Vedas, he had read Vedangas, all these things. In spite of that, he was confused. He had a doubt about himself. As a result, he had to suffer. He got misled. Then Krishna, with his infinite compassion, he removed his doubts. Then he says, Nasto moha smutirlabdva tatprasada and machuta. Oh Achyuta, oh Krishna, because of your grace, blessings, Nastos moha smutirlabdva. My moha, delusion has been removed. Smutirlabdva. I got back my intellect. Means I got back my understanding, viveka, discernment power. I know what I should do and what I should not do. Let me do it. So we're all been having a ignorance of our own selves. That is the reason we are suffering. And we can see very clearly in the Ramayana Ratnakara, Valmiki was one of the Brahmarshi. Brahmarshi means one who has experienced the Brahma. Rushi, Maharshi, Devarshi, Rajarshi and Brahmarshi. So among the Rishis there are different gradations. So the highest one is Brahmarshi. And Valmiki was one among them. So he had attained the highest title, highest state in the Rishi category. But he was the person who was a Ratnakara, who was doing robbery and killing people and all things. Once he caught a Narada, poor Narada, and said, whatever is there with you, give me, otherwise I'm going to kill. Narada said, all right, I don't have anything you can search. Then he searched, nothing he had except a tamburi. Then what, you are a waste fellow, get out, I didn't get anything from you. Ratnakara says. Then Narada says, all right, my dear, why are you doing this? Oh, I know only this work. Because of this, I can take care of my family. Well, you are taking care of your family by this profession, no doubt. But what happens about this? You are occurring a sin. Then he says, my family members will accept it. They will also share my sin also, because they are sharing my earnings. Then Narada laughs and says, you go and ask and come. Then Ratnakara says, oh, you want to run away, isn't it? Narada says, no, I will give a promise, I'll give my word, I'll be here only. You can go and come. Then when he goes and encourages with his family members, everyone said, it is your duty to look after the family. You are doing it. We are not ready to share your sin. Then again, that he had that ignorance, that his eyes got opened. Then he came and he said, I have done a lot of sin. What should I do? Then he was initiated into mantra by the Narada. Then he sat and he started meditation and doing japa for a long time. So much so that there was an anthill grew on him itself. In the forest, he was sitting for a long time, an anthill grew. So after long years, maybe a few decades, he broke that anthill and he came out. So in the Sanskrit, anthill is called Valmika. So because he came out from Valmika, that's why he's called Valmiki. So Narada came as a guru and he opened his inside eyes. So in the Guru Stotra we say, Chakshurun Melitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Just like in Ayurveda, with the help of medicine, they use a needle and medicine and they apply in the eyelids so that the madrasa and other some problems, it goes away. So similarly, Gnananjana Shalakaya. So Anjana is the ointment is Gnana, Shalakaya is what? The needle. Guru dips the needle from the Gnana ointment and he rubs near our eyes so that our eyes gets open and we'll be able to experience who am I, or we can experience the God. So Saṁśaya is the fundamental problem in all of us. Saṁśaya about what? About the existence of God, about the existence of self, or about one's own nature. So that is the reason we need scriptures and we need Guru. And these are so subtle, it is not possible for us a common man to understand this. Even we can see very clearly in the life of Swami Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda came initially as a young Naren, Sri Ramakrishna used to asked him to read Advaitic text. Naren used to say, I don't like it. I don't want to read it. But his Guru Sri Ramakrishna knew very clearly, as Naren's temperament, Advaita Vedanta suits him. Then Guru makes a plan. He says, all right, you read Avaduta Gita. Naren says, no, I will not read. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, all right, not for you, for my sake. Just you read so that let me hear. I am not an intelligent man like you, or I am not a well-studied man like you. Then he says, all right, for your sake, I will read. So that's how he read Avaduta Gita, Ashtavakara Gita, and so few other texts of Advaita Vedanta. And once Sri Ramakrishna was teaching Advaita Vedanta, and Naren came out and he was mocking. And Sri Ramakrishna's divine touch removed that ignorance, and he experienced that everything is pervaded by consciousness and consciousness alone. Then that was the last time where he debated about the Advaita Vedantic truths with his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. So Naren himself was ignorant about the everything is pervaded by consciousness. Naren himself was unaware or doubt. He was ignorant that Advaita Vedanta is suitable to me, but his Guru knew very clearly. So that is the reason we need gurus. Then the second is Saṁśaya. We don't have the whether, what do you say, about the world exists or not, we have no problem. So there is a book called Problem of Consciousness. But today, of theory of relativity and other scientific advancement, I think slowly now there will be a book, Problem of Matter, actually. Problem of consciousness is no more. Problem of matter will be, shortly we'll be getting a book on problem of matter. So whether world exists or not, we don't have a doubt. Whether things exist or not, we don't have a doubt. But whether God exists or not, whether the permanent reality, permanent entity called Atman or Brahman, whether it exists or not, who knows? We have got a doubt. And many people ask, Swamiji, you say that because scriptures say that when you realize your own self, then there are no more birth and death. You will be free, eternally free. Yes, of course. What is the guarantee that after the mukti, say for example, after thousands of years, this particular cycle of creation got ended, and again new cycle starts, because our Puranas tell that. So once Kali Yuga, at the end of Kali Yuga, everything gets dissolved, then again starts from Kruta Yuga or Satya Yuga. Then what is the guarantee that I will not be born again? Means he's saying that why should I struggle? Because I have to control my mind, I have to control my desires. I'm not supposed to do merrymaking. All right, doing all these things, what is the guarantee that I will not be born again? So there's a doubt about mukti, the nature of mukti. I say, yes, it is all right, but now you tell me, what is the way out for you? You want to enjoy this life and suffer? You want to get hold on in this dualities itself, happiness, sorrow, good and bad, right and wrong, success and failure, whether you want to be tossed between these dualities or you want to go beyond these dualities. Yeah, I think we have been slapped enough times, we have been tossed between these dualities. I think I want to go above from these dualities. Then scripture says, then there is no other way, no other alternative, struggle or do the spiritual practices and experience your own self, your own nature. So we have got the doubt about the existence of God, or existence of self, or existence of the moksha, or the state which is called nirvana or kaivalya or mukti. So with the Guru's grace, this indecisiveness or the doubt about the permanent reality or eternal reality will be ceased. So this is also one more limitation of the intellect. Krishna says beautifully, Agnascha Shraddadhanascha Saṁśayatma Vinashyati. The ignorant, the faithless, and the doubting soul is going to ruin. So we have to get rid of this doubt, and Guru helps here. Many times we read a lot, we study a lot, we might do thesis and all, but still we don't get convinced that there is a permanent reality, permanent entity called Atman or Brahman, and I am that. How much ever we read, how much ever we study, many times we don't get the clarity, we don't get the conviction. That is the reason we need Guru's grace. Then the third is Viparyaya. Viparyaya means wrong perception. I mean, there's a funny story which happened in a southern part of India, that's in Karnataka, the state where I come from. So Hari, you know, the Vishnu's name, or the Vishnu's name is Hari. So in Kannada language, ha instead of that a use, ari means tear. Once an old lady, his son got married, and bride has come, or daughter-in-law has come. In few days, this mother-in-law said, look, my dear daughter-in-law, tomorrow there is a vratha. So tomorrow there is a special festival. I will be observing silence. At the most, I will be giving some sign languages. You have to listen to that, or you have to understand, and you have to follow my instructions. I'm not supposed to talk. I will not talk much. Then this daughter-in-law was very sincere and she was obedient, and she said, all right. Then puja started and she closed her eyes and she was doing meditation. After some meditation, she started doing japam. In the japa, she started telling Hari, Hari, Hari. Just she was repeating the Lord's name, Hari, Hari, Hari. But this daughter-in-law, she thought, Hari, 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 she is saying that means tear, tear, tear. What to tear? There was a worship manual book in front of her mother-in-law. She thought, okay, I have supposed to tear the book. She took the book, she tore, and there was a homakunda, and she offered all the papers of the worship book manual into that homa. After some time, when mother-in-law opens and she wants to worship now, she opens her eyes and she sees worship manual puja book is missing. When she asks, where is that? Then daughter-in-law says, it is in this fire. Because Hari Hari means she tore the book and she had put in the homakunda. So this is a funny incident basically. So this is what misapprehension. There's a standard famous story in our Upanishads between Indra and Virochana actually. Once the Prajapati, he declared, it was heard by every individual basically, that there is a permanent entity called self or Atman. The moment you know, you will become all powerful, you will be free from sorrow, you will be free from agony, and nothing can shake you. Such statement was made by Prajapati Brahma. Then everyone were astonished to hear this, everyone were get really moved by this. Now how to understand this? How to know this? Then the Devatas and Danavas, that is Rakshasas and Devatas, they made a meeting separately. Then they all decided, all right, we shall select one intelligent person from our group and we shall send to one of the teacher so that let them learn and let them come back and teach us. Then among the Devatas, they all discussed and they selected Indra because their leader also is intelligent person. Let us send our captain Indra. And among the Rakshasas, they also discussed and they selected one captain called Virochana. So that's how Indra and Virochana, both of them went to a guru. And they asked, we heard from this Prajapati Brahma like this, can you please instruct, can you please make us understand what it is? Then the guru said, all right, you stay with me and you have to do 32 years of penance. Then only I can teach you, I can instruct you. Why? Because you have to prepare your mind, then I'll be able to tell. Then both of them, they stayed there, early morning getting up and doing a simple living, a disciplined life, 32 years over. Then he said, oh, whatever you are able to see yourself, whatever is perceptible to you, that is what the Brahman, that is what the Atman. How to understand that? Then the Guru said, go and see in the water, you'll be able to see. Then they went to a nearby water body and they saw in that. So obviously the reflection is seen there. So immediately they thought, this body is the Brahman. Oh, this is such simple, and our Guru wasted 32 years, they felt. Anyhow, both of them, they went to their places. Now Virochana said, look, my Guru has said, whatever you see in the reflection is what yourself. I saw that, so it's the body. So the body is the Atman or Brahman. Just from today onwards, take care of the body. Eat well, have a merrymaking, have a pleasurable life, and whether by hook or crook, by ethical or unethical means, you enjoy it nicely. That's how Rakshasas started doing all unethical, immoral actions. Now Indra also was on the way to heaven. He said, okay, the body was seen in this water as a reflection. This body, how it can be the permanent entity called Brahman or Atman? Because it has got a limited time. I think my understanding is wrong. Then he went back to his Guru and said, Guru, I think I have not understood properly. I have got a question. Then Guru said, I'm happy that you came back at least. Stay 32 more years, then I will be explained. Then afterwards he explained that whatever you feel, that energy, that is what the Brahman, prana. Then he said, all right, then he was going to heaven. Then he said, but prana is also not consistent all the time. Then how can prana become Brahman? Then again he went back and he asked, I think 16 or 32 years again he told. Then by that time he understood or experienced what is that Brahman. So when he became a Brahmagnani and he went. So such a long time of austerities, long time of disciplined life, or which is called Vyavasayatmika buddhi, focused mind Indra had. That is the reason he could understand what I am, who am I. So many times we get confused, we get carried over by wrong understandings. That is called Viparyaya. That is what? Wrong perception. That's where so many philosophies have come. And in some of the philosophies, in Vedanta, sir, it is beautifully listed out how people argue that prana itself is a Brahman or Atman, how people argue that mind itself is Atman or Brahman, in Vijnana Veda, in Vijnanavada, in the Buddhism, for an example. And the fourth, the limitations of our intellect, our mind, is what? Pramāda. Pramāda can be said as negligence or carelessness or inattention. So many times we are careful, no doubt, but at spur of moment, or maybe at that moment, we, because of negligence, we do mistakes, we do blunders, we have to suffer from that. So this is a weakness of the mind. So Pramādo vai mrityu, in Sanat Kumara Jatiya, Sanat Kumara tells to, I think, Narada, said, Pramādo vai mrityu. In the spiritual life, the negligence is equal to death. If you are negligent, you cannot progress in your spiritual life. Somewhere you fall. Just like if you leave the ball from the top of the ladder or the steps, slowly, one step, each step it comes down. At some point of time, it will reach the land. So similarly, if we are not careful in our spiritual progresses, we come down, our spiritual practices or whatever. We are practicing everyday meditation for some time. At some point of time, due to laziness or because of the carelessness, again we may stop our spiritual practices. Again we come into conscience. Again we start. Or meditation process itself we can think. Say for every day half an hour I'm trying to meditate. I have decided that I would like to meditate, and I sat for meditation. I've started meditation in 5 or 10 minutes, or in 5 minutes, or in no time, my mind goes for world tour. It goes for world tour 10, 15, 20 minutes over. Then suddenly I come into conscience in that I was supposed to do meditation. For that reason I sat, but I did for world tour. Again I come into conscience. I pull back my mind. Then after some time again it goes back. Again I will pull. This is what happens. If we are not conscious, if we are not alert, we can get easily distracted in our spiritual life. And this is the fourth limitation of our intellect, or the fourth defect of our intellect. So we have to be careful. And the standard example can be taken is what? Bharata. He was a great king. He was a great king. He was known for his very disciplined mind, controlled mind, all these things. At some point of time, he handed over the kingdom to his successor, to his son, and he came back. And he started doing meditations. And he was very sincere. And hours together he used to sit and meditate. And he used to do austerities. He used to lead a very simple life, austere life, and meditative, contemplative life. So probably he's quite old also. His days were numbered, not much. So one day he was sitting and meditating. A pregnant deer came, and it was about to jump. And while jumping, it couldn't jump, it fell, and it gave a birth, and it died for some reasons. Now that baby deer, anyone we see, we definitely will feel bad about it. Unfortunately, that baby deer lost her mother. And we feel compassionate, we would like to take care of it probably, or we would like to send to the animal taking care organizations. This Bharata, in those days in the forest there is nothing. Then he thought, all right, let me take care. Then he cleaned it, and he gave a bed made from the grass, and he kept there, and he started taking care of it. And he also felt happy that he is able to protect and take care of an animal or a being. It was all good, no doubt. Then afterwards slowly started, then whether any deer or any animal is coming and eating or not, whether this deer is okay, whether deer is taking food or not, whether deer is healthy or not. So slowly, his mind started getting occupied with the deer thought. It got increased, it got amplified. The God thought or the self thought got diminished, and the deer thought got increased. And so much so that day in and day out, he started thinking about deer and deer alone. Means if not whole day, 24 hours, at least major part of the day. So thinking about the deer, he left his body. What will happen to deer when I die? He was thinking and he left. He died. And such a great soul and such a spiritual soul, because of the small negligence, his mind was carried over by the deer thought and he died. And in the next life, he has to be born as a deer again. After a few years, he has to live as a deer. Then after the death, again as a Jada Bharata, he has been born. Just with a small mistake, how he had to be born as deer, because that is what negligence or pramāda. And we will be doing so many mistakes in our life. That's the reason spiritual progress, sometimes it becomes very difficult for us. Then the fifth is Vipralabdhi. Vipralabdhi, easily we get manipulated. In today's social media, suddenly you see some very interesting news or very disturbing news, and we start sharing with people, or probably we might want to take action on that. Then after some time we come to know that that is a fake news, hoax news. So easily we were getting manipulated. In the social media today we are seeing, but in the same so-called intelligent people also, they can manipulate us. They can misinterpret us. They can mislead us. So that is also the limitation of our intellect. We have to be careful. So when we are to follow the teachings, whose teachings we have to follow? We have to follow the teachings the person who has experienced that God, or at least who is in consonance with our scriptures. That's Vedas or Upanishads or what. So in consonance with that, if his teachings are good, fine. Otherwise, some teachings might be very attractive. Whether is it a time-tested truth? May not be. Then we have to be careful about such paths, such gurus, or such teachings. We have to be careful. Why? Otherwise, we might be misled. Then the last one is Apatukaraṇatvam. Apatukaraṇatvam means the limitation of the senses. So, I keep telling this. In the 17th century, probably in the 17th or 18th century, in the Europe Vienna circle, there was a group of intellects in those days. They were quite famous. So they said anything has to be accepted, that has to be verifiable. If something is called truth, that should be verified. It should be verifiable. How can we verify? Through 5 sense organs of knowledge, through 5 pancha jnanendriyas alone. Then for an example, when I say about the atomic model, yes, I'm able to show it through the model or through the microscope or through the laboratory. Then I can accept. So they posed a question for the philosophers. When you say there is a consciousness or there is a God, can you prove it? Objectively, no doubt, we cannot prove it. One can experience, one cannot prove it. So they said, since metaphysics or philosophy cannot be verified objectively with our 5 sense organs of knowledge, since metaphysics is meaningless, and science puts this challenge to spirituality or the philosophy. Objectively, you cannot pinpoint out the truth. So how can you say that it exists or it is real or it is true? So the Upanishads, the Advaita Vedanta, puts a counter question. That yes, my dear, whatever we are getting the knowledge in this world, everything is what? From these 5 sense organs of knowledge, either through eye, form, or through sound, ear, or with a touch, that is skin, or a taste with the tongue, or with the smell, which is nose. All our knowledge is only we are getting from these 5 sense organs of knowledge, no doubt. It is beautiful, it is worthy to note, but at the same time, it is also giving the limited knowledge of the world, or rather distorted image of the world. It is giving the limited knowledge of the world, or it is giving the distorted image of the reality. So when today, of course, today science is accepting it. Just simple example, for an example, eye. We see everything mostly from this human organ, eye. So it has got only a particular frequency or particular nanometer, a particular frequency only we are able to see. Below that we cannot see, and above that we cannot see, we cannot perceive. But say for an example, for dogs, their perception, the power of perception of their dog's eyes are completely different. Say for discussion's sake, tomorrow as a natural evolution or with a God's will, our perception of the eye gets increased. Say for an example, we can perceive alpha rays, gamma rays, beta rays, electromagnetic radiation, everything we can perceive through this human eye. If we think that, then immediately my understanding about the world, what is I'm experiencing now, it gets completely changes. It completely shifts. That means my perception of the reality with these five sense organs is very limited or distorted. That's why it is called Apatukaraṇatvam. So with these limited senses, you cannot comprehend the unlimited one, which is Atman or Brahman. So we have to understand that. And many times when we read such type of shlokas like Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmasya Jantor Nihato Guhayam Tamakratu Pashyati Vitashokan Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Atmana. I think it comes in Kathopanishad. The Atman is Anoraniyan. It is smaller than the smallest. Mahato Mahiyan. It is bigger than the biggest. So it is softer than the softest. It is harder than the hardest. All these things they tell. Pair of opposites are in the same place they are telling. When we hear, we think, I think Upanishad Rishis, they never knew the truth. Since they don't know, they are confusing. No, because we cannot explain, we cannot objectify the truth. That's the reason they are using the pair of opposites. So if you don't read properly, systematically with the help of Guru, then we get more confusions. Already we are confused. And if you don't get the proper guidance and under the guidance of Guru, if you don't read, then what happens? More technical confusions. Earlier we had ordinary confusions. Now without proper systematic reading, we will get more technical confusions. These things we can see in many of our lives. So that is the reason these are the six limitations. Six limitations we can say very clearly in our human life or with our human intellect. So to get rid of it, to overcome the six defects of the human mind, we need Guru. Why? Shrotriyo Vrujino Kamahita. Shrotriya, one who is already well versed in the scriptures. Then Avrujina, he is sinless, he is blemishless, he is pure. Akamahata, he doesn't desire anything, he doesn't need anything. He only helps us. He wishes to help us. So such a person is a real Guru. When we follow such people, then what happens? We can definitely reach the ultimate reality. We can experience the ultimate reality. That is the reason we need Gurus. Without Guru, definitely our path will be much difficult. For an example, sometimes it happened, at least in India for me, 2-3 times using the Google map. We were supposed to go to a new place. Using a Google map, we went as Google Maps said. Finally, it went and took us and left us in the big field. Means Google map is so beautiful, no doubt, but still it has its own limitations. It can mislead us. I think recently also we were coming from, we had been for 5 hours journey, we were coming, it was already midnight, 12 o'clock. Google is taking there, but already there was some civil work was going on. Then since civil work was going on, then a particular road was blocked. Then again we took a detour, small tour, and Google rerouted, and again it brought us 2 times, again and again and again. Then we have to use our human intelligence and we have to take a different route and we have to come finally. So many times these so-called better instruments also can mislead us. They have got their uses, no doubt. They have got their limitations also. So the only human conscious who has experienced the truth, one who is aware of this truth, he can only awaken that spirituality in us. He can really guide us. So that is the reason we need Gurus. How much ever we might advance in science and technology, but still we need the human necessity and especially the Guru's necessity. So may Sri Ramakrishna bless all of us so that we can get their blessings and we can go forward in our spiritual life in this August time during Guru Purnima. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So there is a YouTube recording is available, no doubt, and it will be shared by, I think, Karthik in the group. It is in the Om Charaiveti called YouTube channel. There it will be available. Karthik will share after the talk. Some of them are posting that we need a recording. So just I wanted to inform you. If you have got any question, I'll be happy to answer. Got any questions here? Yeah.
Sometimes, even if we have a routine that is fixed every day, we slip the routine due to other circumstances coming in between, and it also affects the sleep. So if the sleep is not good, say 6 to 8 hours, right, it will have an impact on performance next day. So how to actually fix this? Like in a world where we go outside to do some job, we have to bring the children from school. We have other things. We have to go to grocery store. We have to take the kids to some football game. So all these things come.
Yeah. See, there we have to organize our life. There are sometimes suddenly it comes. Suddenly some guest you get it. Suddenly there is a phone call for you where you have to go and attend. You have to go somewhere to see a friend or to see something or to bring people or whatever. But more or less, especially here, everything is regulated. You have to go to your office. You have to go to groceries purchase and you have to do your household works. You have to do office work or whatever. More or less it has been regulated. You can think and you can organize yourself, and you have to give some little window time where even little something goes extra so that you can able to manage. Based on that, you can follow your routine. Once in a while, suddenly because of some reason in office you got suddenly some work or a meeting, and for that 1 or 2 hours it got extended. So say 1 hour or 2 hour, you got your sleep less. Your sleep got reduced. Then morning you are supposed to get up early morning so that you can do your spiritual practices. So 1 or 2 days, if you miss the sleep, nothing is going to happen. Generally, until otherwise you are, ill, and if it is getting for a long time, then only you might probably get disturbed or problem. 1 or 2 days and 1 or 2 hours, even if it reduces, the body will take care of it. I think we need not too much break our heads for all these small things. And I think this is also one more way the mind cheats us. Oh, today I'm going to late to bed, say 1 hour. So I think tomorrow morning I should get up late so that I can take care of it. I can make up all these things. So that's how mind cheats us also sometimes. So we have to be careful and we have to make judgments properly, whether it is mind is cheating or whether do I need it really, or whether I'm feeling difficulty with any of these things. So we have to take up that call.
So is it recommended to recite some sloka before going to sleep?
Yes, definitely. I always say that as soon as you get up, that's the reason in the olden days we had Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamadde Saraswati Karamule Sthite Gauri Prabhate Karadarshanam. So it is nothing but mindfulness. As soon as you get up, we immediately now we start seeing that Instagram or Facebook or whatever, if not all, most of us with the mobile. So as soon as you get up, then you are rubbing your hands or whatever, and you are chanting this mantra. So you are starting your day with remembering the God. With the mindfulness, consciously you are doing that. That becomes habit. And night also, we should try to do japa, read a good book for 1 or 2 pages, or if not, try to remember the God. Chant, do japa something and go to bed. So you start your day with a God and ends your day with a God consciousness. So then whole day, slowly it will take care of it also. In between, whenever is possible, we can remember the God anytime, no problem. There is no limitation for that, limit for that. That will help you actually.